can sit in the W position with their knees. You know, like
what?
You know when like you can sit on the floor, like people will have their legs like
You're not
in a
talking,
W.
Okay, you're not talking about crisscross applesauce.
No, it's like I can't even show this.
Is it the thing that I taught you guys in hula for HPIC? Like that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't. No one could see that, but
you don't know, but I know.
It's
and
craziness. Yeah, I just don't understand because my knees, like just looking at it, makes my knees hurt.
Yeah.
It's like when drag queens do the death drop. Like I'm just amazed.
I'm amazed and concerned every time I see one.
Yeah,
I'm amazed, and at this like. Half of my body is like, oh my god, that's amazing, and the other half of me is like, your kneecaps.
Literally, because if I tried to do that,
I'm so scared for them.
Yeah, if I tried to do that, my kneecap would just fly across the room.
Detach from me and bound across the room.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Hi.
Do we know what we're talking about?
No.
Well, anyways, let's at least do intros. Hi, welcome to the Midnight Memo. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Claire.
And we are, well, okay. We don't know what we're going to talk about, full disclosure.
Yeah.
And
I've had a lack of late night thoughts as of this past week.
How dare? Have you been
except for
sleeping?
No.
Oh.
I've just
so just lack of thoughts.
Just lack of thoughts. Yeah. There's nothing going on up here really.
We were feeling I need to censor this because I realized that if I continue with the thought in my head then it was going to come out really dirty. We were feeling the back of each other's head.
We were just a few moments ago before we turned on the camera here. We were talking about we both had dents in the back of our heads.
We both have flat top of our head. I don't know anatomy enough to know. If you're not on video, then this just sounds even weirder. But like whatever this general part, crown? No, this is the crown. Is this the crown? Is the crown more at the very top of your head? What is facing like totally north to like?
I would say
the atmosphere or like the back kitty corner-esque of your head. Do you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it'd be like
sense?
if you were to wear a crown like on the top of your head. I think that's what it's referring to. So like the flat, like if you drew a line across like horizontally.
Bro, I was about to say I don't even know where bitches wear crowns because I've seen them wear it here. I know they sometimes here like behind where your bangs start.
Yeah, sometimes they wear it like headband here. Situations. Yeah,
so that's not even descriptive.
I don't know.
I'm sure that's why it's called the crown of your head is based off of that.
Yeah,
but where is the expectation to wear a crown?
I wear one every single day.
Hey Google, where are you supposed to wear a crown? If it tells me head, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I mean, you did ask a vague question.
But I found something similar. Do you want to know where is your crown supposed to be?
Yes.
I said, over one of the rotting teeth in your mouth.
You're so fucking stupid.
On the website bcdental.com.
It's because it hurt you.
They look like a hollow
Stop.
cap, which is placed over
Hey Google. Stop. It's because they heard you say something
on record. Claire was right.
Bet you it's
Claire knew the answer before Siri.
It's not even Siri, it's Google.
Oh.
I bet you it heard what you were saying, so it thought that was the category.
I don't think so.
I bet. I'm willing to bet.
Let's put money on it.
Okay. How much? $5?
Sure.
Gab already owes me. My partner already owes me $5. No, $10?
$20.
I tried it. We were betting on The Voice. We were watching The Voice last night, and we were betting. We were like, which coach contestants would go to. I think I won $10. I won $10 on Monday. He won $5 on Tuesday. So I win $5. And then I lost something yesterday. What did I lose?
I lost something once.
My spirit, my soul, the will to live.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'm like, I don't know how dark we're getting on here.
Anyways,
anyway, back to the dents in our head.
Maybe we don't need a topic. This is the whole topic.
I mean, okay, so yeah, the dent in your head you said was like a soft spot.
Yeah, I have like a soft spot at the like what I would think is the crown, like top back of my head from I'm pretty sure being dropped many times as a child.
Well, at least you're not a serial killer yet.
That's true. I also have this weird, but my partner doesn't believe me. He's like, I have that too. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. I have like these little dents behind my ears where I wore a lot of headbands as a kid, like chronically all the time. And then so I have like a little dent, like you can it's like a perfectly like 1 inch spot.
Oh my God. I could never.
Yeah, like 3/4 inch. I wore them because I had so much fucking hair. I needed to, I wore these headbands actually, well, cute, but also like seriously function because I needed to like hold all that shit back. So I would wear one like almost every day. And so I have a little dent over here. And that's to this day, it hurts a little bit. That's why when I go to Disneyland, besides taking my ears off for rides, I need those breaks because I know exactly where my ears go in my head at least now because they fall into the same spot that my head already has.
That's crazy.
They always are perfectly vertical because I have a dent in my head already
I could never wear headbands as a kid because
Really?
they gave like because of the pressure they put on my head, it would give me headaches every single time. So I just couldn't wear them.
They probably did give me headaches, and at some point I just ignored the pain.
You're like, I'm numb to the pain now.
Honestly, probably.
Yeah. Relatable though, because like for dancers,
I was gonna say for cheer. Yep.
Yeah, dancers, any like people who had to slick their hair back in any way for their sport, they know the pain of bobby pins and hair nets and like all of that shit that you had to put into your head to like keep everything in place.
Yeah. Have you seen that TikToker? I think it's ballroom dancing. I hope I'm right on that. But
I haven't seen it.
She has to like put like literally like those eco like gel buckets that are like, especially for black people too, that have like the whole tub bucket of gel. She like will literally put that in her head. Where literally she'll also have like acrylic nails on, and it'll like ASMR like it's a legitimate cast over her head, and then she'll film these TikToks where she's like peeling, you know, like basically taking it apart, and it's like kind of an ASMR thing, but it's also like I'll watch like the first like 20 seconds of it because I'm interested, and then as soon as she gets to the part where she's like she'll have like a swooshy bag, right, and it's like perfectly swooshed, perfect, amazing, but then she has to peel that off, and then it's just and
that's so crazy. Like, what if can you break your hair off by putting too much gel in it?
I'm sure. I've seen like, because I've watched like little bits of this a lot, it'll periodically come up on my feed. I saw one where she was like I think it was her mom got involved in the video because she legitimately like could not take out her hair, and then the caption was something like, we legitimately thought we were gonna have to cut off my hair, and like I think the first 30 seconds the mom's like literally like I can't, like she'll give it a little pull and then she's like about to scream, and her mom's like, I can't, like we're gonna have to
can you just like
chop it.
This might be a very dumb question for the people in the hair gel community, I'm ignorant to this problem. But can you like to like loosen up the gel?
Usually,
like put your head in water or something?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is a possibility.
That is a possibility, but with how much she had in, that's because I've definitely done it where like when you wet your hair and then you kind of like brush out the cast while it's like damp from the water, right? But, and I don't know if this is how I do it, okay? So like there's more than likely a better way to do this.
Yeah.
I definitely would have to do this if I was like way too lazy to do my hair. I would just like wet the whole thing as is, wait till it softens, then brush it out under the water. And I know that causes breakage and I'm not supposed to do that, but sue me. With how much she had in her hair though, I don't know. I think she would have to like pre-soak her hair for like 3 to 4 business days.
Okay. So
I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like she's had to.
Intimidating.
Yeah. I don't. Just walk around with like, instead of a shower cap to keep the water off your hair, just a shower cap full of water around your head.
Or like, you know how girls do the twisty towel on top of their head?
The little
to,
hair
like,
turban thing.
Yeah, to like dry your hair. Oh, she just like dunked one of those in water and just did that. I mean, it'd be kind of heavy on your head. But
That would be so heavy, but that's fair.
I mean, drag queens wear those wigs.
True.
Strong neck.
I don't know how they do it, dude. I don't know how y'all drag queens do it.
It's impressive. We've referenced you twice.
We've referenced you so much.
We're impressed by your death drops.
We're impressed so much.
And your wig heights.
I
and
recently
weights.
I was binging. Was it season 9 of RuPaul's has gone on Hulu?
Mm-hmm.
So I watched all of that, and then I have season 14 that was recording on my YouTube TV DVR that I didn't know about from last year because I thought I didn't have it recording, and I guess I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was just waiting for it to come out on Hulu, honestly. So I watched season 9 and 14 while season 15 is currently coming out all at the same time. So my brain was like, but I've basically been watching just RuPaul's for like the last 2 weeks.
Love that.
It was amazing, but also it was a lot where I was like, I'd be watching and I was like, who the fuck are these bitches? What season am I watching again? What's happening? It was a lot. Do not recommend watching 3 seasons simultaneously.
That is a lot.
It was a lot. And I was watching all the Untucks that go with it.
Oh, I love Untucked.
I love Untucked.
Yeah. Back to dents in her head.
Full circle back.
I don't know where mine came from. I just have it. And it's like,
what did you say earlier? You're like, can you imagine if that was filled? Oh, the dent. Can you imagine if the dent in my head was actually filled with brain matter?
Yeah, because like it's a big dent that I have in the back of my head, and you can even feel it through my cap.
Okay. I was gonna say, or is this just your cap?
No, that's the dent.
No way.
No. Okay, so let me show you. It's like right here.
No way.
Yeah. That is the dent I have in my head. I don't know where it's from or how I got it.
It's not in the middle of your head.
Yeah. Who knows what happened? Not me. Maybe if.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm like,
what?
Imagine if I had a normally shaped head.
And it's not like it's not in the center of her head. It's like slightly off to the left side.
Who knows what happened? Okay, if the dent instead was filled with brain matter, imagine how smart I could be. I could have so much more potential than I currently have.
The possibilities are
endless. Yeah, we don't know.
And we never will.
Yes. I was like, I wonder,
not in this universe, not in this life.
I wonder if I like had this as a child and I just didn't realize it until later.
Because that's a thing, right? That's why babies wear helmets.
Yeah. But I don't know. But it's also a reason why I could never be bald, because no.
All your bald comments make so much more sense.
Yeah.
Because Claire often will be like, I could never be bald because my head's weird. And I just figured it was, I mean, when you, okay, I never thought about that because I never imagined me bald. So I've never contemplated this before I met you. And then with you saying those, having those thoughts, I was like, okay, thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. If one were to think about being bald occasionally, they would probably think about, what your natural bald, like totally exposed head would look like and how weird that would look. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And sure, that's something to feel self-conscious about in the sense of like, you would have never seen your entire bald head up until that moment. So it's nerve-wracking in a self-conscious sort of way. Sure, okay, that makes sense. But now I really see what you mean. That's
what I'm saying. Like, I have a reason. Yeah. Because I did complain a lot.
So much sense.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then I think because we were talking about, because of that, I was like, maybe that's the reason why I have aphantasia. But then,
okay, I was like, yeah, where were we going with this? What was the thoughts? What was the chaos?
I often feel like, what has this caused me in my life? Like, would I
lack of brain?
Yeah, the lack of brain and over what is it? Lack of brain over
the lack of brain.
Exhibit A. She can't formulate
She's
words.
She's literally looking off in the distance, like trying to read it off on my wall, and it's just a picture of my dog.
I'm trying to. What's the opposite of lack?
Excess.
Abundance.
Yeah.
Abundance of Dent.
wait, start over. What were
lack of brain, abundance of Dent that I have. Well, I was saying, like, I wonder if the lack of brain and abundance of Dent that I have in my head has affected me in any way. Probably.
I think this is a perfect example of how it probably has.
Yes. Yeah, but we were talking about, or I had introduced Kristen to Aphantasia.
Oh, yeah. She was like, I have Aphantasia. And I was like, bless you.
Yeah, because it does sound like a Disney movie.
I genuinely, because we were talking about Disney like 10 minutes before that, I genuinely thought you were talking about like one of the new shows that they were doing. So I had to repeat it like 3 times. And I was like, you're definitely saying Phantasmic wrong. Yeah, I was so convinced you were saying it wrong. And
what is it?
There's animation something.
No, there's like a girl animated movie where her Aphantasia. Is that not about the girl?
That is a movie.
What's Aphantasia about?
Aphantasia is the one that doesn't have a girl. It has the dancing brooms where Mickey's a wizard.
Then what's the one about the girl?
What girl? Anastasia?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's the one.
Oh my god.
But no, we're talking about Aphantasia, which is neither of those two things. So it just sounded like it, you know?
I feel like I'm getting increase of Dent.
Symptom of talking to Claire equals increase of Dent.
Congratulations. You're an American pharmaceutical. You have a warning.
Yeah. Oh, what's funny, I was talking to my boyfriend about the dent in my head. And he was like,
this was really top of mind.
Oh, no.
Good.
Cut the cameras.
I'm so proud of that.
We need to pause for a moment.
God, I'm funny. Okay.
Oh my god.
She's never gonna tell me. Someone has to.
We love this. Pump yourself up.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. But I was talking to my boyfriend about this, and he was like, oh, I actually have a ridge in my head, so we could just stick together like puzzle pieces.
What?
So it's like we're made for each other.
A ridge in his
head? He has like, yeah. So
he has a hump brain?
Yeah. Yeah. He has abundance of hump.
Mom, it's my lovely lady.
The piz is located on his head.
His lovely brainy.
Oh, just remix the song. Yeah. Black Eyed Peas.
Wait, can we do that for his birthday? Can I add it to my birthday present to him?
Yeah.
Because the other one I was gonna get him was AARP.
Yeah. Medicare. He'll finally qualify for Social Security. These are all jokes. Her boyfriend is now. He's older, but not that much older.
Claire just refers to him as an old.
Yeah.
As in, that's the whole noun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, okay, what were we talking about? Aphantasia. Not the Disney movie. Or the other Disney movie. So.
Or the Disney show.
There's a show?
I really thought you were saying like a Phantasmic.
Oh, yeah, no.
So anyways.
Yeah.
That's
also,
why I was so confused. Okay. Anyways.
Okay. Hello. If you're hearing this, that means we have found a break in our trains of thought. I know, kind of crazy, like our podcast isn't chaotic or something like that. Anyway, this week we have a sponsor for this episode, and our sponsor is Newsly. And you're probably wondering, what is Newsly? Newsly is an all-in-one audio super app for iOS and Android. It picks up the most trending articles on the web on topics you choose at any given moment and reads them to you in a natural human voice. For the first time, the entire web becomes listenable, all in one place. So you can stop scrolling and start listening. You can follow any topic as specific as you'd want, from sports to business to Bitcoin or even the Kardashians. They have podcasts as well. Explore trending podcasts from over 80 countries. Our podcast, The Midnight Memo, will be there too. So make sure to check them out, download and use Newsly for free now from www.newsly.me or from the link we have down in our description. You can also use the promo code TMM and receive 1 month of free premium subscription. That is TMM for 1 month of free premium subscription. That is right. So make sure to go check us out on the Newsly app. You will not regret it. Now back to the podcast. Yeah. If you guys, I saw this video on TikTok. My number one resource material.
Scientifically speaking.
Yes, I did a deep study on TikTok of aphantasia, and it was basically like the lack of the ability to visualize things in your mind's eye. So like for me, if you were to close your eyes and say, imagine a star.
If someone were to tell you, imagine a star.
So if I were to tell you to close your eyes, imagine a star, would you actually be able to see like the shape of a star, the outline of a star, even like the spelling of the word star? Yeah. Like, would you actually be able to see anything? Or would it just be completely pitch black? And for me, it's completely pitch black. Like I can't see anything, but obviously I know what a star looks like because I understand the concept. Like, and I've seen a star before.
That's just so crazy to me. So like when someone tells you, like picture a star, you're just nothing. But then when still like hearing the word like picture a star, it doesn't trigger anything.
Like I can
like how do you know what a star is if you don't see the star in your brain?
Because like if you ask me to draw a star, I know how to draw a star. Okay, because like I've seen people draw stars. I've drawn a star myself. Right. And so like I know what it looks like, but I can't visually see it in my mind's eye. Like when I close my eyes, everything is just black. Like, okay, hold on. I'm going to try to put up this little diagram.
Yeah. Show it to the people. She already showed me this diagram and I understand the words you're saying, but I cannot grasp the concept, which is probably how you feel when I tell you I can see a star.
Yeah. Okay.
I can see a graphic star.
So if you look at this,
you're going to mess up. How come it's focusing on our faces more? Okay. Yes. Continue.
Cover my face. If you see, okay. So for those who are watching the video, I'm showing a diagram of 6 phases of like stars. 1 being nothing, and then 6 being like a fully fledged star.
1 being the top left and 6 being the bottom right, I believe.
And so basically, normal people apparently can see phases 3 through 6. So in some sort of representation of a star or a picture. Yeah. But for me, I see 1, like I see nothing. Yeah. And so I just thought it was super interesting that aphantasia is considered like not the norm. I mean, I guess because it's I don't know how everyone else's brains work, but like it's just an interesting concept. Yeah. How like different people's brains can be.
Yeah, like you can't imagine seeing 4 through 6 and I can't imagine seeing 1 through 3.
Yeah, exactly. And like so I knew I didn't know the name for aphantasia originally, but like I knew the concept of like, oh, some people can see things, some other people can't in your mind's eye.
Okay, sure, right.
And so once I learned that people could visually see things when they close their eyes, I like was trying to close my eyes and like force an image because I was like, I really don't understand like how people can see that. I couldn't do it, but tried it.
Tried to force yourself into forcing sight that you don't have.
Yeah, because I was like, one thing that did not make sense to me at all about it was I can't, if I close my eyes, can't see anything, pitch black, but I have very vivid dreams.
That's true. You have, and I don't dream.
Yeah.
I like will not dream.
So I'm wondering if there's like a correlation between that. Because it doesn't
to be fair, that we only have these 2 data points, but fair.
I mean, guys, let us know.
Sound off. Yeah. I would like to know if we're just both wrong.
If both our minds, they're like, guys, you have dents in your head. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know we didn't give a vote of confidence at the beginning. Be like, I have a dent in my head. Yeah. I have 2 small ones and you have 1 large one. Which is worse? 1 large dent in your head, 2 small ones, and a soft spot.
I don't know. I'd argue that both are pretty
confidence. You know, neither sway confidence, but
But yeah, I just don't know how that works because I'm like, if I don't see anything when my eyes are closed, but then I dream very vividly. Yeah. Where I do see things and I can like even lucid dream. Yeah. Then like, how does that work if I can't see things normally? Like when I'm conscious, like it just doesn't. Is there like a link that's been disconnected?
I'm sure there's some type of link, like some I would not be surprised if some psychologists could like break that down for you better. And I'm sure there's studies somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know. So I was going down a deep rabbit hole of aphantasia things. And there was like a couple of questions here.
There's other like, I'm trying to think of the thought that I'm having. Because I feel like I've seen something similar of like, also like your inner dialogue. Like, do you hear yourself talk to yourself or something? Like there's another variation of this inner thought process of vocal images, like what have you not, but I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, there's probably a word for this as well, but there's a similar, like in the similar vein of aphantasia, some people, like if I asked you to open a book and like read a line in the book in your head without like saying it out loud.
Yeah.
Do you hear yourself talking when you're reading the line, or do you not hear anything? Or are you just like, you don't have an internal dialogue. You just
I don't remember what's the opposite of that though. Like it's hearing someone's your inner dialogue's voice, right? Whatever voice that is. Or like what's the opposite of that? What would the alternative be? I don't even know because I can't remember.
I think the alternative was like you don't necessarily hear like narration in your mind, but you just absorb the material. Yeah. Like I have inner dialogue.
Yeah.
So like if I'm reading a book, I'll like hear someone talking in my head. Now,
is it your voice?
It's not my voice.
Mine isn't either.
No, because
I feel like it'd be weirder. I don't want to hear myself.
I think it's harder to hear your own voice because you don't really know what your voice sounds like.
That's true.
Because I mean, it sounds different in your head than like when you hear it back on a phone or something like that, you know? So yeah, I just like grabbed voices from like different actors or whatever that I've heard before that I feel like
can you distinctly tell that it's a different act? Like when you're reading it, if you were to think about it a little bit more, could you be like, oh, Dolly Parton is reading to me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So like if I'm reading a book with like 5 different characters, I have to give them all different voices in my head.
Okay.
And like assign them like a specific, like I'll match them to whatever actors and actresses voices that I know.
I think I do that too.
Yeah. To like help kind of differentiate their lines and like organize them in my
story.
head.
Yeah. Like
a little bit more.
To kind of visualize the story more back to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that for books too. But like say you're reading a textbook, okay? Vague, bland, generic, no different dialogues happening. Is it still a distinguishable voice?
Yeah. It's usually like if it's educational book, it's usually a man's voice and it's very monotone.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think. Every once in a while I think it'll be a female, but I would say like 80 to 90% it's a male.
Usually if I'm reading like a book for enjoyment, it's a female voice, but if it's
doesn't that tell you everything you need to know, ladies and gents?
Men are boring.
My gosh.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just an interesting concept that our brains can be so different, but can process things. You get to the end result.
Complex.
Yeah, like you get to the same end result, but like some people can't see in their mind's eye. Other people don't have an inner dialogue, but like you can comprehend the same amount of information. If that makes sense. But
comprehend the same amount of information feels a bit strong, but yeah, I know what you're basically saying.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
It still is weird.
It is weird. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. One of the things that was said about.
Pause. Wait. Yeah. Do you have a finishing thought? I just had an intrusive thought.
What's your intrusive thought?
So like, if I were to tell you like remember, like when you think of your memories, like fond childhood memory of a sort. I know you don't have a lot of memories.
Guys, that also because of the Dent.
I know I didn't mean for this to take a dark turn because you also like I'll tell her things like that I'll try to like reminisce about something that happened in college and I'll be like, oh, when we did this thing, and she's like, no recollection, do not remember. But like, let's take that dark thought, put a pin in it, moving on. Thinking about memories that you have, do you, and I don't know if this is another one of these things that we're describing of like how your brain cooperates things, but now I'm just thinking, if you can't picture like images like the star, right? How do you picture your memories?
Like, it's hard to explain because I can I have memories and I can conceptualize what happened in my mind, but it's just like, I don't know how to say, like, when I close my eyes, I can't physically see a star or whatever memory that I'm having.
So how do you?
But I know the memory. It's really weird.
That's so bizarre. Maybe I am. This has made me think that maybe I am a visual, like, I'm incredibly visual, I think, as a person. I've always known I've been a visual learner in general, but I think this is even more so because, like, yeah, when I think of, like, a memory, I, like, play it like a movie back in my brain. Like, I see either, like, a self-video, like, narration of, like, my own inner vlog of, like, what happened and, like, how I was there. Or sometimes even once in a while, depending on how strong the memory is, like, it'll be, like, third person, like looking outside in, but that's very, very rare. But it still plays like a movie in my brain.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like I totally get that, because say like, I mean, I remember how to get from my apartment to like my dance studio.
Okay, and that was another thing I was gonna pivot off of, is like when people give me directions, I can't. Well, I'm direction challenged, so this also goes with this. Like when people give you directions, if someone tells me a street, I'm ready to strangle their head, because I just can't do that.
Yeah,
I have to like visually do it myself. And if someone tells me like, oh, it's right next to, you go down this street and it's next to the McDonald's. If I don't regularly go that path, and I have enough where I've like taken like mental screenshots of like what it looks like. If someone tries to tell me like, oh, you go down this street, it's next to the McDonald's, whatever, and I don't regularly go down that path where I've taken the mental screenshot capture, especially of where the McDonald's is, it will still mean nothing to me. But as soon as I'm driving down the path and I can see it, then I'm like, oh, okay, like mental screenshot, I know where this is. Or even like me and my partner were literally going to, there's this brunch spot, I know where it is, like I know it's around our apartment, around where we live. I know it's like a 5-minute walk. I can figure out, I know vaguely where it is. But if you ask me like, oh, where do we go right now, I have to think so hard. I'll be like, I don't know, pivot, and I'm like, okay, I know vaguely I can go down this way, and then I'll start going, and then at each like intersection I'll have to like think about it and like process the cues of like, oh, that's the snapshot that's kind of vaguely followed by where I'm trying to get to in my brain, so I should go that way. It's a weird, like I have, and my partner has even commented on it, where he's like, it's only when I get to like certain points that I've like mentally taken the time to like snapshot it in my brain that I'll be like, oh, I know where I am. But until then, I'm like, it doesn't matter how many times I walk through there, if I haven't like taken the mental time to like snapshot it and sequentially put it in my brain as like, it's kind of like when you, oh my gosh, when you would have to print out directions on like Google Maps, and then for each like, oh, turn right on this street, they would also come with like a picture of that. I've been trained. This is how I've learned. This is why I've learned it this way. It's because my mom would print out the directions like
MapQuest.
Yeah, MapQuest trained me this. Wow. I've just diagnosed my entire childhood. You're welcome. Free therapy right now on the podcast.
Yes. She asked the question. She answered the question.
I did. I answered my own question. Thank you, self-therapy. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't know, because like it's hard to think of how I play back my memories, because I have certain memories.
Do you think maybe that has to go, that's another way it goes hand in hand?
Maybe.
Like it's harder to retain memories if it's not as visual? Maybe?
I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, do I play my memories back as a movie like you do, or do I play them back kind of as snapshots in general?
But that's still, either way, that's visual.
Yeah.
That's very, I feel like that, to me at least, it sounds and it feels like it goes hand in hand with, if you can't picture a star, how would you picture?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah. So like that I feel like assuming that those things go hand in hand, that kind of does explain why when I'm like, don't you remember we did this thing? And you're like, no, I can't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Because if it's hard to even picture a star, like let alone putting together a whole mental scene.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense now.
Yeah. And I was reading that like.
How do you read books? Okay, anyways, continue your thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean by like, how do I read it?
Like, do you not have, I play movies in my brain when I'm reading a book.
I do too. Like I think everyone kind of visualizes what they're reading in different ways, but like I can kind of imagine like, oh, how would I see this world, and be like, oh, interesting. Like, but I don't, like, it's just, I take familiar images that I've already seen and kind of place them in there. Like, I don't think that I create a whole new world on my own.
But you're not creating a star. You know what a star looks like.
Yeah.
But you can't come up with a star.
No, I just reference all the stars that I've seen before. Like, it's not like, if I had only seen 5 different stars in my life, then I would only be able to think about I would only be able to imagine those 5 stars. I wouldn't be able to like come up with one on my own, or like visualize one that's different from the ones I've already seen.
But how is that different from when I'm like, oh, picture a star? You don't need to come up with a new star.
It's hard to explain. Like, I literally can't see it, but I can conceptualize it.
This is crazy. Like, I can't. This is wild to me.
Yeah.
I can't conceptualize what you're conceptualizing, and you can't explain it to me in a way that I'll be able to understand.
Yeah, either. And I can't conceptualize how you can actually see a star. It's weird.
This is so
The
bizarre.
only time I see anything with my eyes closed is if I press too hard on them, and then you get like all those
see the little sparkles?
That's the only thing I see.
The little woo.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you can see one of these things.
Yeah, I told Claire earlier that I would sit at like a 5 or a 6 like it wasn't bright enough to be like a 6. Like that's aggressively red. Mine was like a little yellowy orange. So it's somewhere, but the same thing. It's like a strong, distinct shape, and then
that's crazy.
Just a different color.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it. Yeah. Wow. This is just, I can't conceptualize how you think. And
it's weird because it's just so normal to me. So I'm just like,
exactly.
And then like how you think is so normal to you. But I was looking at some things on this website called Aphantasia.com. And it says that like aphantasia is both a congenital and developmental condition.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't know what that means. What does congenital mean?
I was just about to look it up because earlier we had the same thing. She read it to me and she's like, what's congenital? And I was like, honestly, I didn't hear anything before genital.
The majority...
We are college educated. Just want to say that.
It also says the majority of people that have aphantasia have it since birth. Which is interesting. So you can gain it later in life then, I guess. Because it's the majority of people.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. Congenital is of a disease or physical abnormality present from birth.
Oh, okay.
So basically everything you just said, but just succinctly in one word.
Okay. And then it also says, rarely can it be a result of a stroke or head injury, but I have a dent in my head, guys. If we haven't covered this already.
I feel like we've covered it all. Like, I feel like we've honestly...
It's coming full circle.
Full circled, yeah.
It also... Oh, it may also occur as a result of an episode of depression now.
If it's an episode...
I've had multiple of those. So, that actually makes me very curious because depression can also suppress or, like, help to block out a lot of memories. Like, it affects your ability to retain memories.
Right.
So now I'm just like... It's either the dent or depression. I don't know.
Listen, either way, the maths. Yeah. You know?
So,
and both are... Can't use that word. Both are sad.
Both are sad.
Both are sad.
Both are... No.
Nope.
I wasn't good at it.
Nope. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Aphantasia is can be hereditary.
Oh, yeah. So my dumbass... So she read this to me earlier before we started recording. And she says, so it could be genetic. And my dumbass, I thought, oh, so we can just call your mom right now. For those of you who are joining this podcast for the first time, Claire is adopted.
Yeah. So I could ask my mom. It wouldn't help us in any way.
It would not help give us any clarity. But we could call Mama J.
Honestly, I think I would just confuse her about like, okay, close your eyes, imagine a star. What do you see? She'd be like a star. I'm like, no.
No.
But like, okay, look at this I'm gonna text you a diagram. Tell me if
I kind of want to do this. Can we text her and then like I will post a follow-up like little blurb or something and we can see when she texted back. I'll paste the screenshot right here.
If this happens, a lot of the times
Beautiful.
though, I feel like these types of conversations, it's like because there's such a gap in technology, like knowledge of technology. And so when you're like trying to explain to your parents how to do something on the computer and they're just like, I don't know. And then you both get angry.
Yeah.
I feel like this would be one of those conversations.
I feel it. But since it's if you were to text your mom about this, it would be so out of pocket. And your mom has a wonderful 50-50 shot in responding to this. She will either just answer you, like just go with the bit and be like, sure, either trying to understand it and actually succeeding or just being like a star and giving you some generic that's not really helpful answer like you said the first time, or she would be like, what are you on? And she'll either like actually try to answer you and try to be helpful, or she'll be like, are you okay, do you need help, should we have a talk?
It's a 50-50 because I do text her a lot of out-of-pocket things. The last one was like, how much was I when I was adopted? Or like,
you texted her that a while ago though.
Yeah. It was a question about like, how
much did it cost to get? Was I more expensive than a born child? That's what you were asking.
I was like, is adoption more expensive than just having your own child or something like that? And she's like, Claire, all children cost money. And I was like, that's fair. Very short conversation. But yeah. Okay, let me see. I'll just text her.
Yeah.
Yes. I need the picture.
Well, different issue entirely.
Share.
Good technology. I hate that that's my contact picture still. I really do.
When you close your eyes.
No, wait, put before the picture. Be like, if I were to tell you to close your eyes and picture a star, would it be this?
I told you to
please
close
hold
your eyes and imagine a star.
What would you see?
Oh.
What would you see than the picture?
Oh, she's probably asleep. But she'll wake up to this, so that'll be nice.
Hi, good morning, happy Friday. By the way.
All right, we'll have a follow-up later.
Wonderful. I cannot wait to see where this leads.
Me too, it's going to be very interesting.
Either way.
Yeah. But that's all I really had. That's all
after. I really was like, I don't think we have anything. We were literally just sitting here trying to figure out a topic. I mean, that's the whole point of this podcast, right? Is to literally just whatever keeps us up at night. Random shit that goes on this is basically just our brain dump of like what the fuck goes on in our brains. That was the whole premise of why we created the show. And in a nice way, I feel like we've been trying to find like topics and like relevant themes of like what we've been thinking of. So when we tried to sit down today and we're like, oh, what should we talk about? Thinking categorically, like what's the theme? What topic are we gonna breach with this? We did not have a single thought. And we were just sitting here for like a good 5-10 minutes, and I was like, fuck it, let's just hit record and see what we're talking about, and jumped into the middle of what we were talking about, which was of course random and out of pocket, and we are now here. And I think it beautifully came around, not to an answer, but just around. Yeah, a lot of mind weirdness. We're like, we have nothing to talk about, but we had something. Yeah, hope it entertained you. I don't think this answers any of our questions. We posed questions and we got more questions. Yeah, so if anyone can answer what the heck, just what the heck. Yeah, like how our mind's eye maybe is like connected to how we dream, or like what connection is missing, at least in my brain, to where it's like what connection is missing in my brain, please and thank you, to where I literally can't see anything in my mind's eye, but I can dream very vividly. I can recall memories, like I can do all that stuff. I just can't. Yeah. Or is it specifically, is aphantasia just that small part of like you have like all these symptoms but they're not related? Yeah. Or is it aphantasia leads to all your symptoms? Yeah. I don't know. Well, I doubt a viable psychologist is ever going to comment on this. Take the time to watch this and actually give us answers. So for the vast majority of you guys who just watched this for entertainment, I hope you had fun with this debauchery. And let us know if you have any dents in your head. The whole table moved. We'd like to know, because we have dents in our heads. Obviously, because we can't even keep a table together. Oh. There. Oh, it really moved forward. Have we been recording with this okay. We've recorded this whole episode with the table not up correctly. Anyway. You know what? On that lovely note, thank you so much for joining the Midnight Memo for this chaos. I'm glad we could bring you, well, I'm assuming this, but I'm glad we could bring you some chaos into your day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. Don't forget to follow the channel so that way you can be notified when our next episode drops next Tuesday, or if you're watching us on YouTube, on Wednesday for the video cast. I don't know what they're really called, but video podcast thing. Yeah. And Claire will now give us her slogan. Yes, and if you would like to rate our podcast at all on Apple Podcasts or Spotify's, please do, because it would super help us out. And yeah, you already said follow us on all of our social media, right? Follow us on all of our social media. That would be listed amongst the screen. Reach out to us. We would love to get in contact with you about more debauchery that is this. And if you have any thoughts or no thoughts, lack of thoughts, abundance of Dent. I can imagine a t-shirt like I have abundance of Dent. I want this to be a shirt now. Should this be a shirt? If we ever have enough funding to actually have merch. Could be. Lack of thoughts, abundance of Dent. Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next week. All right. Bye.